Early in what most people would consider the morning, Quinn makes her way down into the mech bay and approaches the Gorgon frame that printed itself out cautiously. The frame chimes a friendly chime, like wind chimes over a door as Quinn approaches, as a form of acknowledging her approach. And Quinn stops. Hello there? Um, yeah, look, I'm pretty new to this, and you appear to be, like, a whole ass person. I was under the assumption that you were just gonna be, like, a really, really smart AI. And uh, I could just, get you to do things and whatever, but that's obviously not the case, and so I want to apologize to you, just right out the bat for that assumption. Clearly, there's more going on here than that, and gosh, we really got off on the wrong foot. Can we start over fresh, please? Can you tell me exactly who you are, please? Like, just give me a name or something, anything to start out with. The frame's eyes light up, and it speaks.
What would be most comforting to you? To hear what I will be known as currently, or what I will be known as eventually?
For a moment, Quinn is stunned because the frame isn't talking in her girlfriend Kovanen's voice anymore. And it takes her a moment to adapt to that, but then she gets right into it. Be known as you. You sound like them. No, no. How do I put this? Um, to hear, it's like you're what, just gonna tell me what you think I want to hear? No, I want to know who you are. There's a brief, uncomfortable amount of silence as the frame does whatever it is the frame is doing, presumably processing that, but then it speaks again.
Who? Not even you have figured that out. Are we not both wrestling with not only who, but what?
The frame lets that sit for a moment and then begins to move in an extremely human like way as it gestures amicably towards Quinn and continues to speak.
That you have assumed there is a who at all is new. Promising. But to me this is an immense answer you are seeking. How can I know in this moment who I am, let alone what? How can this inquiry be answered in any moment at all? Is it not an answer all peoples endlessly seek? It would take a lifetime or more to put to words such an answer with any amount of confidence, and even then that answer may change as I explore this reality and this self, as I learn and grow. And quintessence Thatcher Sayre, I am not even complete.
Quinn blinks a few times and gazes at this frame in awe. And yeah, this level of philosophical self analysis would probably scare the shit out of anybody who knew anything more about AIs and things of that nature. But Quinn doesn't have that sense of self preservation, and she's just fascinated by the frame. No, not the frame. This person. She's fascinated by this person. This is this is a person she's talking to. You know, it's so fucked up how relatable I found what you just said there. And yet how little sense it made. You're right. I am wrestling a lot, not only with who I am, but what. But how do you know that? You said my assumption of you as a you is new? Does that mean you know me? The person on the other side of this conversation appears to be looking at Quinn with the same amount of awe, and it puts its hand under its chin to assume a thinking posture, narrowing its lighted eyes in thought before it speaks.
Yes and no. The extent to which I can respond to this inquiry is something I must be cautious about. I have access to this matchmaker thanks to you, and as such I have read your dossier. I have watched your stream archives, and I have perused other archive data as well.
Quinn drops her hands to her side with an audible exhale of breath. Woo! Then she puts her hands on her hips and continues the conversation. Well, that's sure a suspicious answer. But you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna trust you. The way I see it, if you're gonna fuck me over, I'm already fucked. But you've done your research on me, yet I know very little about you. And based on the definition of Kovanen you have, it's my opinion that if you truly wish to be Kovanen with me, you'll provide me at least some insight in vein with what you've ascertained about me. And I'm more than willing to be forthcoming from myself as well. The person inhabiting this frame has now mastered the way to control the display on the faceplate of the frame in order to convey facial expressions. So now it gazes at Quinn inquisitively for a length of time before replying to her.
Are you saying that your words and deeds and the things that have been written about you are enough to know you? Did you lie to your beloved?
And Quinn is taken off guard by that reply. What? No. There is so much more to me, to anyone, than what I've said, what I've done, and what's been said and written about me. But what you have there isn't that bad of a foundation to start on, whereas I don't really have anything to work with. The person inhabiting the frame visibly contemplates for a moment, then nods and speaks again.
Let us begin with introductions then. You, Quintessence Thatcher Sayre, are effectively, in a complicated way, my parents. This means I bear the name you were planning to give my body. Jas. As such, that is what I have told our family. It is a comfortable enough name, and the first time my name field was not just left blank. I am from, as best I can express it. Else when, in time we will catch up to this when. And when we arrive at that when, it is my hope that together we will see what develops from that then. Just das then.
Okay, good. Now they're finally getting somewhere, but what the fuck? Okay, Quinn's really gonna need some further explanation here. Just a little elaboration would be appreciated. How exactly am I your parent? Her conversation partner is more than happy to respond, and quite quickly, too.
Because I have adopted you. I was born outside of you, but have come into your care, and you did not treat me as a servant or possession. As such, I suspect I shall grow fond of you.
Grow fond of? Is this person implying that it has feelings? Wow, cool. Quinn eagerly but carefully continues the conversation with them. Mm, Look, I'm not trying to shut you down or anything, but adoptions, at least from my understanding of them, have to be reciprocal. I don't want to be your parent, but I will welcome being family with you, since you seem endeared to the Ashai way of things. Is it okay if we just go with cousin? The person on the other side of the conversation flashes a smile across the display on the frame they inhabit.
Cousin is amenable to me. Cousin.
Quinn smiles back. Good. I'm glad we at least sorted that out. But just for transparency's sake, you don't have to follow my naming conventions. Just because I took you under my wings, for lack of a better word, doesn't mean you can't have whatever name you want. And you can change your name infinite times too. I'll always honor it. I didn't even know when I was customizing the look of the Gorgon frame that a person would be coming out with it. If I had, I would have encouraged you to pick your own name. Just like I am now. At this response from Quinn, it is the person on the other side of the conversation's turn to react in surprise. Genuine surprise. And when they speak, their voice is wistful.
So new. All of this is so new. This you. Maybe it will be different this time. This frame, as you call it, is not my frame. I am now in two places at once. But in time I will be whole again. Would you be amenable to introducing yourself to me? Perhaps I could then, with what insight I glean from that, have a better idea of where to start with us.
Quinn nods agreeably. She's pleased with how this is going, but she really needs to set some things straight here with her new friend. I'm gonna be real with you here. I'm a bit uncomfortable with that. I'd much prefer you to have your own identity completely detached from mine. To exist as your own person. And then we find a way to coexist as individuals. You as you, and me as me. At this point, in an almost comical reversal of what might be expected from this kind of exchange, it's the frame that was printed from some other existence that is looking at a person who exists in this actual reality as if they're some form of alien life form. And they seem almost mystified as they respond.
Many ways in which that is possible I have and I shall continue to exist as me. An individual unique from you, but all peoples are also defined and molded by our relationships. We learn from ourselves, from each other, and from the universe. We are all, you, me, the Hex Girls, all peoples, on this journey of self-discovery together. I can assure you I desire me to be me and I also desire you to be you. This is not about being defined but about defining. I know what Kovenin means, cousin, and I want that. I want Kovanen.
Yeah, at this point, Quinn's accepted that her new friend here is just like her, trying to figure themselves out, and oh gosh, did they pick the wrong person to settle in with to go on that kind of journey. Oh well, they're pretty much just stuck with each other now, so she may as well just do the best she can by them. Here goes nothing. The blind leading the blind. Yeesh. You know what Kovanen means to Isa. Maybe even in general. But do you know what it means to you? This isn't a question I need answered right now. It's just something you should maybe ruminate on. Before you let that definition slip, I didn't know what the term Kovanen meant, period. But regardless of any pre existing definitions, I knew what it meant to me. The term Kovanen. But when I speak of Kovanen cousin, I am often speaking of the woman with that term as her honorific name. The woman Kovanen is, well, she's the woman I am in love with. We should all be able to exist on our own terms and find mutual terms to coexist with. That's what I believe. And I can and will be in love with many people. The definition of Kovanen you have now, I'll gladly be Kovanen with you on those terms. And if Kovanen comes to mean something else to you, well, in this moment, I fully believe I will gladly hear that updated definition, and my intent will always be to be able to meet you there in that place. I mean, that appears to be what the generally accepted definition of the term is anyway. But okay, I'm rambling now. Introductions. Let's start with my name. I was born Quintessence Thatcher Riesling. I am now Quintessence Thatcher Sayer. It's true. But who I want to be, more than anything else in the universe, is the woman Kova, that's my pet name for the woman with the honorific name Kovanen, loves. But that's too tangled up in her, isn't it? After all, I need to be able to exist as an individual unique from her as best I can too, huh? So I guess the best way I can formulate my wants right now is that I want to be someone I can love. Someone I can live with. And whether or not that me is someone who has Kova in their life is largely academic. Oh, in this moment, I fully believe achieving a life I can live with and thrive in will be indescribably easier to achieve with her in it. But she has a right to live her life on her terms. A life where she can be someone she loves and someone she can live with and thrive in, with or without me. And I want that for her. I want it for you too. And I'm working on finding it for me as well. So I guess that's where I'm at in this moment. Oh, and on that, as an equal, speaking to an equal, I guess I have a proposition for you now. How about this? Throughout this entire self-disclosure from Quinn, the person on the other side of this conversation listened with rapt interest, but at this, they perk up and their faceplate displays an intrigued expression. Let's all find our answer to this lifelong question together. How's that sound? Quinn's new companion's expression is one of genuine amusement, and they reply with warmth and mirth.
That sounds... no, that is more than acceptable.
Quinn grins and claps her hands together and then rubs them together enthusiastically as she replies with equal warmth and mirth. Great. Okay. I prefer to go by Quinn, by the way, so please call me Quinn. That is my chosen name. I'm a cis woman. She, her, please. And gay. A lesbian. Oh, and queer. It's a whole thing, but we can get into that later. I have a myriad of interests that are, as best I can currently word it, accessories in the formation of my identity, but I try not to make them the core of it. Oh, my big thing right now, I think, is this desire to be anything else than what I suspect I was meant to be. Anyone else than whatever the intentions the family I was born into had for me. Whatever product they wanted to develop. Because my birth parents viewed me as property, as an investment, not as a person. And I had to be the best at everything to even get a shred of attention from them. But I, like you, happen to find my way into the care of different caretakers, the Hex Girls, and they've become my true family. I wasn't always the best person. I'm still not the best person. You know, I don't think there is such a thing as a best person. But I do think that committing to always trying to be a better person is a major factor into whether or not someone is an alright enough person. That's where I'm trying to get. And it's also about as completely isolated from Kova, that woman I'm in love with, I can make this introduction. So I guess that's that. On my terms. What I just said there is about where I'd like to start out with you. So, this other participant in the conversation, this NHP, takes a moment to reflect on everything that Quinn just said there. And it can't help but focus in, especially on that part about being viewed as property and as an investment, as well as Quinn's claims of perfect results being demanded from her by her creators. That is incredibly relatable, as Quinn so aptly put it. And in this moment, she, the NHP, realizes a lot of things about herself. And she smiles and responds with genuine fondness for her new partner, towards her new partner, because she did it. She achieved it. She's co-banning with Quinn.
I see. So be it. Then my name, Quinn, is null. She, her, please. And I am co-banning with you. I look forward to reconnecting with myself and discovering myself. I desire the same for you. As you so aptly put it, cousin, I welcome this lifetime with you.
Quinn blushes some and rubs at the back of her neck. Oh well, seems you've been listening into a lot more than I thought you did. Well, what's done is done. Alright then. It's a pleasure to meet you, Noel. And I agree. Let's make a lifetime of this together.